I'll take these out and then I'll turn on the fan again. I've turned this off already, but I want you to understand what a convection does, because it browns everything very evenly. The fan, there, the fan will circulate the heat, and it keeps everything moist and beautiful. Now, here are the beef olives. Aren't they a riot? I'm going to put a pot holder on this, we don't burn up the counter. There we are. And then I have another tray of meatballs with secret fillings. And Lord knows which one is which. There are olives, chopped bacon. What else is in there? What did I say? Olives, chopped bacon, cheese, and mushrooms. Now, the convection oven has a fan. I'll turn this on. There. You see? And that circulation keeps everything even in the oven. It's no longer possible to get a loaf of bread that's brown on one end and raw on the other. This is a marvelous thing. I just love it. All right, one more. Using, again, fresh beef. I'm going to make a steak tartare. Olive oil into a wooden bowl. A couple of anchovies. 1, 2, well, that's more than a couple. Well, how about 3? I always change my recipes as we go. What difference does it make? We need a little bit of Dijon mustard, a tablespoon or so. And then we need some chopped onion, chopped yellow onion, and a bit of Worcestershire. There we go. All right, so we have Worcestershire, mustard, onion. Now we need an egg, 1 raw egg. Just crack it right in there. Whoops, oh, Smith. The best laid plans, right? Doesn't matter. And we'll mash all of this up so that we can smash the bits of anchovy. If you don't like anchovy, I'm sorry, but I just love this stuff. Okay, now we'll need a bit of salt and pepper, just a smidgen. Now remember, we're putting the meat into this in a minute, so, and watch this. This is a very, very quick dinner for the summertime, and I promise you, it will give you big raves. Now, I'm going to grind up a round steak. And if you don't like steak tartare, you're going to say, what a horrible waste of a round steak. Don't be silly. Save all these pieces of bone and fat, you see, for another use. But this is a wonderful dish. Just delicious. I just love the stuff. Steak tartare. The first time I told Channing that I was going to serve him raw meat for dinner, he just looked me right straight in the eye and said he didn't believe me. Well, of course he believes me now. And in it goes. We're grinding up beautiful round steak right into the bowl. Are we talking fresh here? And you're going to have a much nicer flavor. Cut it into long strips and just run it through. Oh, I'm getting hungry already. All right. There we go. This wooden plunger keeps your fingers out of the mixer, of course. Show your children how to use this properly. And then anything in the kitchen is perfectly safe if you talk with your kids honestly about what it does, you see. I don't ever want my children to be frightened in the kitchen. Well, I've already told you some basic kitchen rules about your kids, and that's important to me. All right. Mix it in. Put in a little bed of lettuce. I have some I think the classic English word is toast points. What they are is just a little bit of toast. There. Freshly ground steak tartare. It's wonderful, wonderful eating. I need some capers on the top of that. That's very obvious. Capers do the job. Capers are like little nasturtium seeds, but they're not of that family. They just seem to taste like it to me, though. All right, now we'll add some toast points. You know, do a nice arrangement of toast points on your platter, and bring this to the table with some celebration and arrogance, because you're serving the freshest kind of meat you can possibly get your hands on. And believe me, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy this for sure. The wonderful thing about having good equipment in your kitchen is that you know you're going to get by cooking fresh food from scratch. And I know that in the beginning, when you outfit a kitchen, you make an incredible investment. But if it's good stuff, it's going to last you for a long, long time. Point. I want to make pasta for you with a machine. And I don't want you to go out and buy a special machine. It's got to be versatile equipment. That's what we want. So I've just sifted And I mean sift. You sift this over your measuring cups. You use a sifter to measure this precisely. Sifting means that the amount of air and the amount of flour are just right so that you know exactly what kind of volume you're getting. I want 3½ cups of sifted flour for pasta. I'm sifting it over the cup itself. I've already got that. 3½ cups. That will go into my mixer. Now, this is so simple that it's just crazy. Most machines can't take this. They just cannot take it. Then I want 4 eggs. Just throw it right in there. Now, isn't this complicated? And 1 tablespoon of water. Got that? 3½ cups of sifted flour, 4 whole eggs, and a tablespoon of water. Turn it on this machine. It's on number 2. And just let it go for about 30 seconds. Let me clean up here. And then we want to change to the dough hook, which will finish the process. So you can't do it any faster than this. Okay, there we go. Now, off with the blade. This is the old kind of thing that your Italian grandmother used to use. Oh, stop worrying about my fingers. I use them this way all the time. There. Anyhow, your grandmother used to do this all by hand. And it was wonderful. But I'm not convinced that a machine can't do this well. Just beautifully. All right. So we'll mix it again with the dough hook now for a short time while I show you the possibilities we have here. This is the regular meat grinder, and what I want to do is to add a blade that turns it into a pasta maker. In this case, it's spaghettini, or little spaghettis. Spaghetti means string in Italian, spaghetti, and we want to use a little one. And you simply put it together. So your regular grinder is in here, but there's no blade for it. We've taken that out. Put on the cap and tighten her up. There you are. Now we're ready to begin making pasta. It's that simple, and I think it's a kick. How are you doing in there? Oh, you're looking pretty well. We'll let this go for about a minute. There. Okay. So I'll put it onto my board here, and this really should mix a little bit longer, but I want you to get the idea. And besides, I know you trust me, and I trust you. Okay, and this will all just come together, you see? See what happens? See, it's all coming together right away, and it'll pick up all of this. You knead this. Oh, it'll take a minute or so to just knead this by hand, and then I want you to cover it up with a bowl or a paper towel or something. Paper towel will probably be best. We want it to dry just a tiny bit, and then we'll run it through the machine. There. Now remember, I've just come home from work, and I'm doing this in a hurry because I'm having a marvelous dinner party tonight, and I want to feed them all fresh pasta. So cover this now with a dry paper towel and let it sit for a time so that it will the moisture will go evenly through the bowl. And at the end of that time, we're going to have some pasta going here. This is so much fun. First time I did this for Channing, he went crazy. He just went crazy. It's not easy for him. You know, he's on the edge already. Okay, where's the tray here? There we are, and we're going to begin. Here's the secret to doing this. You turn the machine on very high, 10, you see, and then you break off just a bit of dough about the size of a walnut and throw it down in there. And as soon as it disappears, throw in another. The machine will slow down. Don't worry about it. We're talking a heavy, solid-state machine here. There are no plastic parts on this one. And pretty soon, it takes a second to get a roll in here. Come on, girl, there we are. And pretty soon we have spaghettini, you see? Thin spaghetti. And there's nothing to that, look at it. And it goes like, it picks up in speed after the tube itself fills up, you see? There we go. Now let me show you different kinds you can make while this is working away. Here we are. Spaghettini is one. That's the thin spaghetti, you see? That's this one. There you go. And then I have a thicker spaghetti. There you are, which is made with the larger holes. And here's macaroni, which is made with the macaroni plate. And I can make lasagna with this one. Look at you, get a wide noodle. These are fresh noodles. And finally, you can make a nice wide fettuccine or egg noodle, all out of the same device. That's a riot, just a riot. Now, on this side, yes, I want to be sure my water's boiling. I'm going to change again with the same device and make a fresh tomato sauce for you. I know that some of you have never even tasted a fresh tomato sauce because it's too much work. Well, let me show you how quickly you can do this. Using the meat grinder again, adding another attachment, you can pick all of these up very easily. This is a long rotor, you see, a driver that will separate vegetables, fruits, from their pits and their peels. And you don't have to do a thing. You don't even have to peel the stuff. You can run apples through this, any kind of fruit you want that has a peel on it. Let's see, I need this piece that has a peel on it or has pits in it, you see. This is going to do all the work for us. So, have two bowls. One at this end for the sauce, and the other at this end for the pits. Let me show you what happens. Get some tomatoes cut up here, and we'll do this in a hurry because I want to get some pasta out for you. There. All right, in they go. And just run them down there. Fresh tomatoes. We're not talking work here. This machine's going. Now the sauce is beginning to form. Can you see it in here? See, the sauce is forming in here. And out of this end comes, is this a riot? Out of this end comes the peel. No problem. This is great with all sorts of fruits. You can do this with berries, and it'll take the seeds right out of them. Marvelous fun. All right. Well, I think you can see what's going to happen here. My point is that if you love to do canning or just fresh sauce making, you can do this with all sorts of vegetables, soft vegetables. Apples and things will work too. But berries, all the seeds come out this end, all the juice goes in. You make jelly, lickety-split. Now, let me get the pot. Let me show what I did with the sauce. I'll make enough tomato sauce to get us going here. Where's a pan? And here's a fresh tomato sauce. We need a lot more sauce than this, of course. I'm just getting started. But it's easy to do. And you make up your own recipes as you go along. For instance, we'll want to add a little bit of red wine to this, a little bit of olive oil. There we go. To give it a little nice rich flavor, you see. There's not going to be any meat in this. A little bit of salt and pepper. I think I have some pepper. That's just right. Now, for herbs, I want to add, first of all, some lily bulbs. You know what these are lily bulbs? They're onions. Yes, I know they're onions, but they are lily bulbs. And some garlic. Remember, my garlic's all ready because I cut it up ahead of time. We're talking cook in a hurry here. And I keep this in the refrigerator. Remember, that works beautifully for me. All right? Okay, now, for the herbs themselves, I want a little oregano. And a little basil, and perhaps some rosemary. You can do whatever you like with this. It doesn't bother me at all. Put this on to simmer until the water begins to evaporate. Well, this one's all finished. Look what I have. Very, very rich tomato sauce made of fresh tomatoes. Please, and it's easy. Now, I've already cooked the pasta, so I'm just going to heat it up very quickly here. And we can have a great celebration of fresh-made food that is not taking me a long time to prepare. I don't want you to think that that's what cooking's all about. I'm just going to dip this into the boiling water, you see. I've already cooked it ahead of time. You rinse it in cold water and then leave it set so that when your guests come, or your kids come to the table, whichever may happen first, you're all ready to go. Okay, now I need a platter. We have fresh tomato sauce. There we go. There. Can you imagine the ability to cook your own make your own pasta from scratch here, and then spread a wonderful tomato sauce on it that you've also made from scratch? In Italy, of course, this would be a first course. I guess it's a second course, isn't it? But in our house, this is murder, and we'll all sit down and gobble up pasta with a fresh tomato sauce. One more thing I need, of course. Remember, I've already grated the cheese. This is freshly grated too, and I do that once a week. Stick it in the reefer and keep it good and cold. There you go. There you are. We have pasta made from scratch in very little time. Now, aren't you pleased that you can cook things fresh from scratch? You can do it. Now, let me talk with you about why I am so terribly fond of gas. If you have electricity in your home and you're using an electric burner, that's fine. That's all right. I'm not complaining. But in the restaurant biz, and I used to run restaurants, gas is an absolute necessity because it's instantaneous heat. and you can control it. Very little heat or a great deal.